Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have not purchased a Nintendo Switch 2 game because I did not want to spend $80 for a Mario game. Woohoo! More like, nah-uh. Like, I'm not saying that Nintendo is greedy or anything, but like, $80 for a Mario Kart game that was all the way back, that was $70 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No, it doesn't end there, sweetheart. There is going to be some games out there that are going to cost $80 to $90 for a Nintendo Switch game.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back on Angry Guys channel, and you guessed it, no one is buying Nintendo Switch 2 games. We all saw this coming. We've been talking about it for quite some time now. Don't you think? You know, it's it's kind of embarrassing. Nintendo has to be embarrassed that despite of the fact that millions of Nintendo Switch 2 were bought, people are not buying games. Now, I'm not counting Mario Kart World here for the simple fact that many Switch 2s came with the Mario Kart World. So that's why I'm just not counting it. Just not counting it. I'm talking about games after the Switch 2. And most of the games were just games that were ported into the Switch 2, like Cyberpunk 2077. Big deal. Big whoop. Now, guys, before we continue, if you have not heard of Andy Matrix, you can go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, Andy Matrix Gaming, where I talk about anime, gaming, Japanese culture, all those things. If you're into that, go ahead and click the link below this video. Also, everybody, make sure to follow Angry Guy on Rumble. YouTube has become the censor station. And Angry Guy's uploading his videos to Rumble, where there's more freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want in that, video platform. And hopefully Rumble will become, will compete with YouTube in the future. But right now, YouTube doesn't have a competitor. So it's kind of sad, really. But anyways, one more thing, guys. Don't let anybody tell you that you own nothing and be happy. Okay? Angry Guys Crypto Academy is the solution. Okay, so in Angry Guys Crypto Academy, you can learn to buy and sell cryptocurrency. You can learn to day trade crypto, make a profit from crypto. Cryptocurrency is not just these digital stuff floating in cyberspace. It's actually going to be the currency of the future, right? So Angry Guys going to teach you which ones to buy, which ones to sell, which ones to not buy, which ones to ignore. So go ahead and click the link below. All right, let's get it. You know something? The PlayStation 5 had more games on its release date than the Nintendo Switch 2. More games. Okay, and keep in mind that there weren't even that many PlayStation games when it came out. I think, I know Spider-Man was one of them. Spider-Man was one of the games, and there was I think 4 or 5 other ones. It really didn't have a lot of games on its release date. But the Switch 2 really only has Mario Kart. It really only has Mario Kart. And Donkey Kong Bonanza, you're not going to get that until July 2025, which is like a whole month and a half away of its release date from the release day of the Nintendo Switch. So, I mean, why couldn't they just put Donkey Kong Bonanza, on the release date so that people will not just buy the Switch, but also buy, that game? There was a lot of other games that they could have, allowed on the release date, but they didn't. Okay, that was a very stupid move. And it's only going to motivate more people to go and check out other stuff, because when people get bored on the Nintendo Switch 2 and they're looking for something to play, they're going to be scratching their head thinking, you know what? Maybe I should just go back to the old Switch. You know what? Maybe let me go ahead and try a Steam game. You know what? Let me go ahead and try the Xbox Rock Ally. Oh, what a tragedy. What a tragedy. Yeah, but the lack of games is not the only problem. Okay, gamers don't want to buy Switch 2 games because, they don't want to buy a key card. They know that they're not going to own the game. They know that. So what's the point? What's the point? And many of the titles that were ported to the Nintendo Switch, you're better off playing that on other consoles like the PS5, on your gaming PC. You want to play Cyberpunk 2077, which by the way is a very very graphics heavy game. The game is so graphics heavy. You need a strong computer. You need a strong computer to be able to play that game. And the Switch 2 is just not it. Right? The Switch 2 is just not it. You understand? So, gamers really hate the fact that they're buying a key card, they're buying a permission slip from the daddy government, Nintendo, right? Nintendo is the daddy government of gaming now. Saying, "Oh, well, you need a permission slip from us to play the game." That's what they're That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's what the idea of the whole key card is. But anyways, there's one dude on YouTube that's a little better at explaining this than me. His name is Dreamcast Guy. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. Here it goes.
Hey there gamers, Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're talking about the failure of the Nintendo Switch 2. Not that this system is absolutely flopping. People are actually buying the Nintendo Switch 2, but it feels like everybody is only playing and talking about Nintendo Switch 1 games on it, myself included. I mean, I've been playing mine every single night, but I'm playing stuff like Splatoon 3 or Resident Evil. I'm playing ports and stuff like that run a little bit better. Nobody is buying or playing any Nintendo Switch 2 games, and that's now the official number. We're going to take a look at the stats because the quote we're going to discuss today that's going crazy across the internet is Nintendo Switch 2 games are selling worse than the lowest expectations. Nintendo Switch fans may have bought the Switch 2, but clearly they do not care about the games. But let's talk about what this actually means. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this is the quote that, honestly to me, this has me a bit nervous, which is this. Most third-party Nintendo Switch 2 games posted very low numbers. One third-party publisher characterized the numbers as below our lowest estimates, despite strong hardware sales. Now, historically, this is a very bad sign. If people are buying your console but not your games, it very much can, I'm not saying it will, but a lot of times it can disincentivize a lot of the game makers. If they're selling, 10 million consoles, but they're selling 100,000 copies of a game, companies go, okay, well then just put it on PC, put it on Xbox, put it on PlayStation 5. Don't put it on Switch because they're not buying games. And I'm using that as an example because specifically we've been seeing that with the Xbox Series X consoles where nobody on Xbox. There is about 35 million Xbox consoles sold, I think, but even if there is that many, most games that are on the Xbox sell less than 100,000 copies. I mean, they absolutely bomb because the fan base has been trained to get stuff on Game Pass. They're not really there to buy games. So why is this? It's probably because of the game card key issue. See? The best-selling third-party game, and this is actually by a large margin, is Cyberpunk 2077, which is the game actually on the cart. I mean, literally look at this. Game card key, game card key, game card key. I'll admit that I was actually very, very tempted to buy this Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. This actually has, I love Yakuza. I'm obsessed with the Yakuza games. This is Yakuza 0, the really cool prequel, but voiced in English for the first time. And even if you don't like the English voice cast, as a fan, I'm very curious to try it. But I don't want to buy a game card key. I just don't. And to me, it seems like a lot of people are like, look, if I'm going to buy a game for $70, I want that on the cartridge. Third parties didn't make these game card keys. They would have sold. Prices. It's the key cards. It's the key cards. It's the key cards. To me, I think that I feel like they have to be waking up. One of the biggest things about the Nintendo Switch 1 that I do think really, really energized the fan base was you buy a game and it just works. You buy Super Mario, you buy Final Fantasy, you pop it in and it immediately works. Yeah, sometimes it needs a patch or something, but the game just immediately works. Now, I have noticed that some Nintendo Switch fans seem to be very afraid of any criticism about the Switch 2. No, it's the best system ever. How dare you insult it? I saw stuff like last night, IGN posted their review saying it's a 7 out of 10. I agree with this. I made some videos saying that, honestly, even though I am playing the Nintendo Switch 2, even though I don't hate the Nintendo Switch 2, the fact that Mario Kart is the only launch game, I think it's a massive mistake. I truly believe they should have released Donkey Kong Bonanza at the same time. That would have been a much better launch game, along with Mario Kart. But all the replies are like, boy, do I disagree. Oh, you reviewed other stuff more positively. Imagine giving the Switch 2 the same score as you gave Concord. Okay, that actually does put it in perspective. A lot of people, though, definitely are being like, how dare you insult the Nintendo Switch? I think it is a bit strange that it does seem like the only game for the Nintendo Switch 2 that's selling at all is Mario Kart. Now, a lot of this is because of the bundle, but they actually say 134,000 units, 917,000 physical copies sold so far. It is the #1 best-selling game in Japan for a second week in a row. Now, I think this signifies the fact that people are bored. Now, what I mean by that is I'm not saying that people are just, leaving this thing there to collect dust. I think it is the fact that people like Mario Kart, but I think it's just that people are hungry to specifically see what's big and new and different. They want to actually see, okay, I bought a Nintendo Switch 2 for $500. Show me that $500 graphical leap. But then you look at it and go, wait a minute, I don't want a bunch of digital games. I don't want to buy a freaking CD key in a cart. That's stupid.
Really quick, guys, make sure to check out Angry Guys Crypto Academy to buy, sell, and make a profit off a cryptocurrency. Click the link in the description now.
Hey guys, in a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
All right, so the Nintendo Switch 2 sold 3.5 million units, yet gamers are already bored of it. Cyberpunk 2077 is the most downloaded game of the console. However, it's just another title that people already played. It's just another title that people already played. And people rather play it on PC because all they got to do is buy, just buy the game at a discounted price, by the way. They don't have to spend $500, $600 on another system just to play the game. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so the Nintendo Switch 2 has absolutely nothing to offer. I mean, think about it this way. The Nintendo Switch 2, it has almost nothing to offer in today's modern gaming. I want you to think about it like this. Okay, let's start with quantity of games. Quantity of games on its release day is almost nothing. You got to wait a long time for the new games to come out. That's an inconvenience. An absolute inconvenience. You understand? It's an absolute inconvenience, right? I mean, you might as well just buy the console like when the new games come out. Another thing is that the console it's lacking in hardware. The hardware is not strong enough. I mean, look at all the other consoles. Get the Xbox Rock Ally. I'm sure PlayStation is gonna come out with a handheld too. It's bound to happen. It is bound to happen. PlayStation will come out with a handheld gaming device. You will see. Xbox came out with one. PlayStation's up next. They're all gonna have a device. They're all going to have a device. You'll see. Okay, and the Xbox Rock Ally and the Steam Deck got more RAM, got more storage memory than the Switch 2. I wonder, I haven't really checked for everybody that's been playing Cyberpunk 2077 on their Nintendo Switch. I'm wondering, okay, I'm seriously wondering, has the game been crashing at all? Because it crashes on the PC. What makes you think it's not going to crash on the Switch 2? What makes you think it's not going to crash? It will crash. It will crash, as well as many other games in this crappy little hardware. I mean, you really have to water down Cyberpunk 2077 for for it to run really well on the Switch. Yeah, I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. What was Nintendo thinking? Just keep your old consoles. Keep your old consoles and keep your old games. Keep your old Switch, the original Switch, just keep it. Don't sell it. No need to sell it. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and let the Dreamcast guy finish his, what he was saying. Let's play the clip.
Look at this. 62% of physical sales are first party in the US, not including Mario Kart. Cyberpunk 2077, best third-party game. Sega was the third best publisher of the Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. 80% of Switch 2 software sales came from physical retailers. So I feel like this shows the fact that with PlayStation, with Xbox, with PC, I think you could probably sell stuff mostly digital. I mean, PlayStation still puts their games on discs, but Xbox at this point has completely given up on physical games. They've just given up. Even if you buy an Xbox game, there's nothing in the box at all. The disc is literally blank. Addition with PC. Everybody gets everything on Steam or Epic Store or whatever. There's just no physical PC games anymore. Nintendo Switch is the one place specifically where I feel like having a physical box with an instruction booklet, if it's got little stickers inside, people not just buy it, they'll not just pay more for it, but it seems like more people buy it. Literally, having a physical box, specifically an actual cartridge on the freaking Switch, I think increases the sales. Completely trying to dodge that with the Switch 2, I think has very much blown up in their faces. Now, some people are happy about it. I'm not going to lie. I have seen people like, this is obviously my good buddy Beat 'em Ups. Wood, he has bought every single Nintendo Switch launch game. And I watched this video. It's a great video. But it is interesting to me that these are the physical games. Digital, game card key. This stuff to me, I think sucks. I think it really does signify the fact that it is tainting the hype of the Nintendo Switch 2. Even in the comments, people are like, bro, there are so many hate comments when all you're doing is talking about enjoying the Nintendo Switch 2. I am personally glad that they are getting this backlash. I saw this tweet by Jaw Muncher. Damn, who would have thought consumers would be interested in ports and game card keys at the majority of the launch lineup? This is 100% where I'm at. I'm not saying the Nintendo Switch 2 sucks. I'm not saying the Nintendo Switch 2 is the worst thing ever made. I'm not saying the Nintendo Switch 2 isn't worth your money. If you are purely a Nintendo gamer, I definitely think you're going to get your money's worth out of this. But this shows a greed and a cheapness that honestly is just unwarranted. Like, genuinely, we know for a fact, because publishers have talked about it, publishers have talked about the fact that it's not just that making it is easier, it's not just that shipping a key in a box is simpler, it's the fact that it costs them about $4 to put a game card key, and it's about $15 to make an actual physical cartridge. And at this point, they're just trying to cheap out. They're trying to screw you over, which to me, for a lot of these, just doesn't make sense. These games are done. Like, Street Fighter 6 has already made its money back. Yakuza's made its money back. Sonic has made its money back. Why not, for the heck of it, actually make a physical cartridge that rewards the fans to buy it? It is going to pay itself off in spades. I have seen so many posts like this. I'm not trying to be a downer here, but I feel like there's more than enough of that already. But as a video game collector, the game card key situation is really bumming me out. Only 4 of the 26 physical games for the Nintendo Switch 2 are actually on the cart. The rest are game key cards. Now, this is actually from 6 days ago. I've been saving this tweet for a week because it is interesting to me that, honestly, in a lot of ways, it seems like Nintendo just doesn't care. Third-party publishers just don't care. They don't respect you. And I think that we're going to start to see a pivot. Hopefully, within the next couple of months, but a lot of times changes like this can take a while. I am hoping we start to get actual physical games. Maybe it's just me, but I think it's going to help the sales. And honestly, to me, that's the thing. I personally buy physical games on Switch specifically because they actually exist. On Xbox, I don't buy physical games. On PS5, I buy some stuff. But if I'm not getting a disc, if I'm just getting a blank disc, a blank cartridge, screw it. I don't know. This is a rambly rant. How do you feel about Nintendo Switch 2 physical games? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Oh my gosh. I have been playing quite a bit of Switch 2. Damn shame I don't have any Switch 2 games to play other than Cyberpunk. And I'll admit, 99% of the time I'm just playing Splatoon. But Splatoon is still awesome. And the Splatoon 3 patch for the Switch 2, it's primo.
So, for those of you who are still wondering, is this true? Like, is nobody really buying, Switch 2 games? Is this something that is actually happening, or is this just some people like Angry Guy and Andy Matrix just coming up with theories just to make YouTube videos and get YouTube views? Well, no, this is actually happening. Again, the Switch 2 sold 3.5 million, and yet gamers are really not buying games on it. They're not buying games on it. Seriously. Roll the clip.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have not purchased a Nintendo Switch 2 game because I did not want to spend $80 for a Mario game. Woohoo! More like, nah-uh. Like, I'm not saying that Nintendo is greedy or anything, but like, $80 for a Mario Kart game that was all the way back, that was $70 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No, it doesn't end there, sweetheart. There is going to be some games out there that are going to cost $80 to $90 for a Nintendo Switch game. 2 game. Don't worry, I'm still playing my Switch too. It's just that these games are just outrageous for the price of $80 to $90. You're going to tell me that Donkey Kong Bonanza is $80. It's confirmed that it's going to be costing $80. But just imagine the thought of paying $80 to $90 for a video game. What the f? Nintendo, I love you, but please drop the prices. I don't have the excuse, alright? Like, Nintendo Switch 2 is the new generation, but it doesn't care.
So remember when I made that video talking about the Switch 2, how I said, I don't want to buy it or whatever? Look, whole bunch of Switch 2s right there. Plenty of them. I just got paid today. I could buy it. I have no desire. And it's crazy because normally when consoles come out, I'll have like that nerdy itch from like, ooh, I want to get that right now. Oh, I got the money. I have no desire. I just got paid today. I have plenty of money. I have no desire to get that shit. None whatsoever. I'll pass.
One more specific piece of backlash people had. I think the funniest piece of backlash. There's no games coming out with the console. Correction. There's 2 launch titles with the console. If you don't know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is launching with 2 brand new games. Mario Kart World. Whoa! Insane game. And hold for applause. You ready? Ready? Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. If you don't know what this game is, it's a tech demo where you walk around a very large Nintendo Switch 2 as a little miniature human, and you have to play little games. And you're like, that doesn't sound too bad. It's a fun little thing they include in the package. But what if I told you it didn't come with the console? What if I told you that for the demo game for the console, they made you buy it? Would you think that Nintendo is maybe greedy? Would you think that? Because I would think that.
Yeah, dudes. Yeah, so get yourself a PC. Get yourself a Steam Deck. Get yourself a ROG Ally. Get yourself an Aya Neo. There's a lot of other options out there now. Get an Asus handheld gaming PC. Forget the Switch. As a matter of fact, if you want to play something like Mario Kart or Breath of the Wild, any of those games, you can still play those games. Just wait a year so that then you can sail the 7 seas and be able to download it on your computer. Come on. I mean, if buying is not owning, then pirating is not stealing. We're not stealing, is it? right? We're not stealing games. They're, because when you buy the game, you don't own it. So if you pirate the game, you're not stealing it. Am I right or what? Come on, dudes. Anyways, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Make sure to like this video. All right, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Everybody, Godspeed, baby.